going on, people? This is Fandom Empire. I'm Sean. It's Tuesday, and we have a Halloween reunion of sorts to discuss on the channel today. Before we get into that, though, take a moment, click the like button. It's free to do so and helps other people find the stream. Also, share your thoughts down below in the comment section. Don't hide your opinion. It's safe here. Whether it's overly positive or negative, it's a safe place to share your opinion. So comment down below and share your thoughts there. And ring the bell. Apparently, it helps you keep up to date with all of our content. Our viewer question for this video, though, is would you like to see Dwight H. Little return to the Halloween franchise for another movie? A, yes. B, no. C, doesn't matter. And D, only if it continues the story of Jamie. Now, if you didn't know, and that last one should be a giveaway, Dwight H. Little is the director behind Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, one of the more positively received Halloween movies in the franchise, and not to mention this guy's favorite. But that's a story for another time, and a story many of you have heard many times. Let's dive into this article by Halloween. I believe it's Halloween Daily News, and they have written us a very nice article. Let's dive into it. Danielle Harris is reuniting with her Halloween 4 director, Dwight H. Little, for the upcoming new Halloween horror film, Natty Knocks, also starring genre icons Robert Englund, Bill Moseley. A release date has just been announced, and guess what, people? That release date is much sooner than a lot of people think. I think there's some positive with that, and I do think there's some negative with that. They go on to state, after we exclusively reported that Natty Knocks would be released in late July, we now have confirmation of the exact date, with Variety reporting today that that Vertical has picked up North America, United Kingdom, and Ireland rights and has scheduled the film for a day and date release on July the 21st. A date very significant for me that I'll keep to myself, but that date means the world to me. Early details of the plot, as first reported by Deadline, revealed that the film follows the story of a small-town babysitter played by Charlotte Fountain Jardim, who on Halloween Eve, so this actually takes place right around Halloween too, so like they're really tugging at the heartstrings, along with her kids, has to survive serial killer Abner Honeywell. Look, if the guy's name's Abner, just run the other direction, because, I mean, I don't know about you. You know, if I'm anybody bringing an Abner home to meet the parents, it's probably a no-go. Probably a no-go, you know. My daughter brings someone named Abner home, and no offense to the rest of the Abners out there, it's just probably not happening. Anyways, Abner Honeywell, who is himself the traumatized son of B-movie horror legend known as Natty Knocks. So that alone for me is appealing. The serial killer in this film is named Abner Honeywell, but is actually the son of a B-movie horror legend known as Natty Knocks, which is where the title of the film comes from. Robert Englund, Danielle Harris, Bill Moseley star alongside Jason James, is it Richter, Free Willy, Charlotte Fountain Jardim, and Channa Zutong. Danielle Harris spoke about her excitement to be working with Little again more than 30 years after her cast as young Jamie Lloyd in the 1988, good year by the way, sequel Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, during a 2021 interview. So back in the, in the height of the pandemic, they were planning this film. You know, this is a low budget horror film that they went, and they didn't even have, they hadn't sold the rights to the film yet for distribution, and they still went and made this thing. And it has me quite excited, although I worry that it's literally almost June, and this essentially is the beginning of the marketing. So I do think we need to keep expectations in check. But in terms of having horror icons, in terms of having a motivating, captivating story, I think it has both of those things. And I mean, Dwight's work in the horror genre is known by many. In addition to Halloween and Phantom films, Little has previously directed Marked for Death, Rapid Fire, Murder at 1600, which I've seen, by the way, and is underrated. Free Willy 2. I didn't know he did that one. Anacondas, The Hunt for the Blood Orchid, and numerous TV episodes for series, including Nikita, Prison's Break, and Freddy's Nightmares, among others. The film's also being written by Benjamin Olsen and produced by Sandy Little and Jason James Richter with Amit Sarin. Vanessa Aurora Sarin is executive producer. Apologies if I butchered those names, and then again, you have it right there. We have Natty Knocks will be released in theaters and on video on demand July 21st. Stay tuned as we expect a trailer very soon. So I've heard as early as this week or as late as next week. So my guess is in the next 2 weeks, we will have, my guess is not just a teaser trailer, but rather a full-blown movie trailer for Natty Knocks. I'm very, very interested to see where this goes. Look, it's not a Halloween flick. I think you need to keep expectations in check. That being said, if you're a Halloween fan, if you've become a fan of Danielle Harris, God knows there's plenty of fans of Robert Englund. This should scream, must see for a lot of fans in the Halloween community. Anyways, comment down below, share your thoughts there. I would love to hear what everyone has to say about the upcoming Natty Knocks film, starring Robert Englund, Bill Moseley, Danielle Harris, and directed by Dwight Little. To me, it's exciting news if you're a Halloween fan. I get it, it's not a Halloween movie, but hey, you know what? It sounds like it could be something decent, and not every good horror movie is some blockbuster that makes hundreds of millions of dollars at the box office. Believe it or not, there are little movies that go on video on demand or even get theatrical releases all the time that can be far more entertaining and captivating than the big budget motion picture film. Now to the panel. Joining me on this one to discuss this Halloween reunion of sorts is Tommy B and Mr. Matt Whitfield. Gentlemen, in my opinion, it's a pretty big day for Halloween fans. Obviously, it's not a Halloween movie, but if you're a fan of Halloween 4, like this guy, I think we all like Halloween. I don't know where Halloween 4 ranks on your guys' favorites list or anything, but like
it was number 3 last time we did a roundup.
It's one of the better Halloween movies for sure. That being said, it is not a Halloween movie. It's a low budget horror movie. Natty Knocks releasing July the 21st. And we were wondering about this. It's going to be on video on demand, but it is also going to be in theaters. And if I can find anywhere that's not an insanely far drive that's showing it around me, I will give this movie my money and go see it in theaters. Just to give it. Well, I need to see a trailer first. If we see the trailer and it looks abysmal, I'll go video on demand. But I'd like to go see it at a movie theater. I mean, it's a fabulous it's a fabulous horror foursome of Danielle Harris, Dwight Little, Robert Englund, Bill Moseley. But I say that because Tommy here actually has an interesting point on the star power in this movie, considering it's a low budget movie that didn't have a distributor until very, very recently, and there's been virtually no marketing. Tommy?
So look, I am not a professional. I've never worked on a movie. I have no major stake in any studio, any brand, any actor, actress, screenwriter, so on and so forth. What I could tell you is I'm a little nervous, as a general consumer, when we start seeing all these big names getting thrown around together for a project, especially a film like this. I mean, you got your projects that get the big names together and they're able to entertain them with unlimited budgets and different concessions and such. You usually see those. They're your Disney movies, your Marvel movies, your Star Wars movies. This does not fall into that category. This is significantly smaller scale, significantly smaller budget. And if you throw together a whole lot of names, celebrated icons and such, you're going to have folks rubbing up against each other in the wrong way. And I kind of scratch my head at that prospect, right? It's like, so how's this going to turn out? What's the end game for this? Is this going to actually get to shooting, and is this going to be produced correctly? Is it going to be marketed correctly, or is it just going to fall apart and get canceled? Those are the kind of questions I ask myself. What about you guys? Does any head scratching, any similar questions enter in the mind?
My wonder is, I'm still so pumped and intrigued for it. My wonder is why it couldn't get a somebody to what's the word I'm looking for? A studio to attach it. Robert Englund, unless they say, okay, Robert Englund's done. I mean, what is he? I mean, he doesn't have any star power. Danielle Harris doesn't have any star power, which I think is bullshit. And Bill Moseley should. So it makes you wonder why. And Dwight Little, he's not a bad director. He's done a lot of good stuff, including Halloween 4. So it just, it makes you wonder why it didn't. It couldn't get a somebody to back it. But I mean, I see you scroll down. A small-time babysitter and the kids. She's looking after struggle to survive a serial killer named Abner Honeywell. Well, kind of figure Abner Honeywell is more likely to be Bill Moseley. He just looks like an Abner Honeywell. So, what
in the buffer that I recorded for the beginning of this video, which our audience is definitely now seeing that we've pieced together, I did a little bit of a bit about my daughter brings home a Abner Honeywell. I don't know how overly enthused I'm going to be at the prospect of them going to a movie together or anything. But honestly, dude, I don't know if this. I don't know if it's in this article, but I don't need it to be in the article. Abner Honeywell in the story is the son of a famous B horror movie legend, which adds a whole other twist to this movie. And the movie takes place on Halloween Eve and Halloween night, which I also did not know. So you're going to have that Halloween atmosphere as well. I think people are sleeping on this movie.
I think they are too.
That said, could be dog shit. Tommy could be right. There could be too much star power. Robert Englund might have wanted too much Starbucks and might have ate up the budget. I don't know. But
my wonder is, what role is he playing?
See, I don't know. But if I had to guess, I wonder if he's going to be the famous
father,
the horror movie legend. I could kind of see that working. The interesting thing is the babysitter is not played by Danielle Harris, so I don't know who Danielle Harris is playing. Maybe she's playing a cop. I don't know, but I thought that that was definitely what they were going for there, and she's not. That being said, I think Tommy's point earlier is right. Look, lots of star power, not a lot of time, not a lot of cheddar cheese, if you will, to go around. And, it's, I want the best for the film. I think it sounds very, very interesting. But there's a reason that, the day that we're recording this is May the 30th, 2023. This thing comes out July 21st, less than 2 months from now. And there has been zero marketing at all. Didn't even have a distributor until recently. There's probably a reason for that. As much as I want this to be like the next big thing, it might just be a low budget horror movie with some popular faces that we know. I will challenge your point from earlier though, Matt, is I don't know how much star power Robert Englund and Danielle Harris and Bill Moseley have anymore, or Dwight Little. They're more star power from the past than they are star power doing anything relevant anymore. Like Robert Englund was literally in a throwaway episode of Supernatural as Dr. Robert, which was funny.
I mean, but be as it may, people our age and older and a little bit younger who love these types of movies will go see it or get it when it comes on video or something like that.
I think it's day and date, so it'll be the exact same time, which means it's probably a very limited theatrical release and is not going to make much money on the big screen.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just being honest. That's what it's.
I know.
Here, let's do this. Like you and I are, I'm not the biggest horror movie nut in the world, but I love horror movies, and I know you do too, Matt. But like Tommy's pretty. I wouldn't say he's new to the genre. He's
vanilla.
Him telling us stories about watching someone he was younger. But Tommy, you're not a diehard horror guy. So for you, is there enough here to warrant paying? I'm not saying you go to the theater necessarily, but is there enough here to warrant you paying for this movie in any way, shape, or form, or no? And I think you would be a really good judge of just like the average Joe, the average fan.
Was that a question?
It was. It was.
I must have missed the question.
Hang on, I'm gonna.
Essentially, is there enough meat on this bone with this movie to intrigue you to go out and see it, or possibly or get it on video?
So that's like the double-sided sword with this, right? I was very critical of we got all these big names and all on here. That could really potentially sink the film, but it could also be an attention grabber. Y'all talked about that a few moments ago, and I have no problem jumping on that bandwagon too. I think that having your your names on there, your cult classics, or your those celebrated people who are celebrating the fan base, can just as easily grab attention. And even if you're a general consumer, an average person who's going to go see a movie in a theater, that might be enough to generate some hype around people, get people talking about the film, and ultimately get the general consumer, the average person, into the movie theater to go check it out.
The question is, do you or anybody you know want to go see this film? It's not Halloween, but it's based around Halloween. Big time, classic B horror. I wouldn't say B horror movie, but classic horror movie legends from the past. Danielle Harris, Robert Englund, Dwight Little, Bill Moseley.
At the end of the day, I trust Dwight Little.
Me
know
too.
what he would do. We know what he did with Halloween 4, and that's one of our favorites. And it's a lot of people's favorites. And if you like Halloween 4 and you like the direction Dwight Little took, I feel confident. And I do. And that means I do kind of feel confident with what he's doing here.
He still let them use a pink mask in a shot, which is unforgivable. Anyway, comment down below. Share your thoughts. Are you excited for Natty Knocks? I am cautiously optimistic. I think at the end of the day, it'll just be like, hey, one of those movies you went to rent at Blockbuster when you were younger, and it was, not a blockbuster movie, but, just a, an okay movie. If it ends up being that in a fun 90 minutes, then why the hell not? Could it be something more? Time will tell. Comment down below. Share your thoughts there. Don't forget to like the stream and click the notification bell to keep up to date with all of our other content. If you want to support the channel on another level, you can do so over on Patreon, patreon.com/Fandom Empire, now rebranded Fandom Fanatics. Check it out. Halloween, Crystal Lake, Scream, Wrestling, Star Wars, anything Westeros, Smallville, and Supernatural in the coming months over there. Big thanks to Tommy and Matt for pitching in the video. And don't forget, the Boogeyman's not coming in this video, but Danielle Harris is.